small boats on the water, wandering anywhere. Surely they must be loaded with love and simple matter.
Dap-a-doo, two white guys in a wheelchair.
Right. Welcome back, Jonah Smith.
Howdy. Glad to be back.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are y'all doing?
Not too bad. You look a little cold.
I am cold. I'm dealing with a lot of bullshit that sent me on a bit of an adventure today.
Okay, tell us about it before we get into it. Let it all out. Let it out so we don't bring in...
Okay, so there's this thing called AISH, AISH, Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped.
Okay.
And they just rolled out this new thing where you have to apply for a disability tax credit and benefit. And long story short, I got all the paperwork filled out, but it's figuring it out where to get it to was a bit of a pain in the ass today.
Yeah, it sounded like a nightmare.
Well, yeah, I picked it up from my doctor's office, which is in the northwest. Drove all the way out to the northeast by like Temple. And then I show up and they're like, wrong place. You gotta mail it in. After I went to the age office and they're like, oh, you gotta go to the Service Canada place. And then it was just a shit show and I'm really cold.
Yeah, a lot of who's on first. Yeah, that blanket looks cozy though. Yeah, it's warming you up.
It's not bad.
Okay, you're doing. Let me know if we gotta take a pause if you need more layers. Yeah. So Jonah, that's obviously a provincial problem, not a civic problem. But
Yeah.
What do you have to say? What do you think about that?
It's all stupid. The whole, you can say it's a provincial problem, but it does kind of tie into municipal politics too, right? They got rid of electronic voting on the municipal level. Like you had hour wait times, right? Like this, I feel like this is something that could just be, put it on the computer or something, send it in, done, right? It could and should be just a 5-second quick process to get it done. But sadly, what you kind of see from Danielle Smith is her going back on her beliefs of less bureaucracy and less interference, and she's giving into this. Like, I don't want to blame rural Albertans, but this is kind of their conspiracy nonsense that comes in, leaks into the the rest of the province and the cities, and it's a pain for everyone, right? Because somehow if it's in person, like if it's physical, that somehow makes it 10 times more secure than if it's just electronically. Doesn't matter if it makes it harder or not to them.
Okay, so that's the rural urban divide.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, I just tend to group them in with Take Back Alberta. That group, that Wild Rose kind of group. I don't know why
we don't have to talk about it.
I can't piss off the future voters. I can't. No, but I think it is important to understand that like they have so much say for some reason, right? And Danielle Smith and the UCP in general prioritizes them because they are a lot of the population, but they then neglect Calgary, and then Calgary will probably vote NDP in this next election, right?
Yeah,
50-50.
Sorry to cut you. I've heard that they're not quite like the NRA, but like they're active like the NRA.
Yeah.
Where they're just like they're always either phoning or mailing in or emailing the MLAs at that level. So they're just like super
Loud.
Yeah, super loud. And yeah, in the legislators' face.
Inactive.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about that group. But we're not here to talk about provincial politics. We're here to talk about your campaign, your learning experience of running for mayor for Calgary. To the listener, before we hit record, Jonah and Eric and I, we were talking. Last time we saw him, it was August. He had a campaign manager. Kyle had just joined the team, and Jonah was just, he was starting his media tour, worldwide media tour, doing interviews on, what was it, QR, the one that, Yeah, QR Calgary. He came on here. I saw that you were on another podcast as
Yeah.
well too.
Off the grid youth. Yeah.
Yeah, and your and I said it on that podcast, and I'll say it again on this one. Your Instagram was fire, and it just became more and more cutting as the election went on.
Yeah.
So maybe give us a brief overview of the experience, and then we'll ask more questions as they come up.
It was, I mean, in all honesty, it was a good experience, right? Like I got out, I met people, right? I didn't do, as much as I wanted to do, right? I still got out door knocking, right? Like that was like a completely new experience to kind of do alone for the most part, because couldn't scrounge up my family, they're busy folks, but yeah, but like door knocking and meeting a lot of people just in my community and getting to know them and what they want and want to see, right? Like even if I kind of say that this kind of ended a bit of a failure, but like that doesn't mean that there wasn't success with it. So, meeting these people, kind of getting my name out there and getting people to care, like that was, something so special to me is, at the end of the election, right? People, DMing me saying like, hey, like you got us out to vote. Like you inspired me to get out and vote. Like, I might not necessarily vote for you, but you got me out there to vote.
You inspired me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad.
That's
That's the biggest smile on my face, is when people just say, you got out and vote, right? Like that's all I care about is that you're getting out, you're fulfilling your civic duty, as my teachers would say, and
right to complain.
yeah, 100%. I always appreciate anyone that gets out and votes, protests, whatever. Get it out there, complain.
Democracy in action, baby.
Yeah, love it.
So, so tell us some of the things back in August that you thought that this experience would be like that that were wrong, and what were some of the things that surprised you about the campaign that just things that you learned.
I mean, something I thought was wrong is like how time consuming it would be. Like I thought I was going to be nonstop outside door knocking, just constantly, never on my ass kind of deal. Completely wrong. It was a lot of sitting down, emailing people, hearing people, because like as good as door knocking is, and you get out, like you can reach a lot more people, just online, right? Like I got hundreds of emails, right? I got hundreds of DMs, right? And I spend a lot of time answering them thoughtfully. A lot of people just ignored it, but they'll complain, and then you message them thoughtfully, and they'll just leave you on scene. Kind of a heartbreak, but
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
Always hurts.
Yeah. I genuinely thought it was going to be a lot harder to get out there and do. Not that it was necessarily easy, but it's just, we hype this up as you need millions and millions of dollars, and you can only get out there if you're uber rich, or if you're, you have absolutely, free time all the time. Like you have to be graduated, you can't be a student and do this. I think that's very misleading, right? Like I think anyone, can get out and talk to people and get your name out there and kind of discuss, right? Like politics in that sense is kind of like influencers, right? Like you can become a politician like that. But again, politicians don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that you can just get popular and run against them.
They're like us with this library space.
Yeah.
Eric and I found this, and now we're like, oh, this is so awesome. People should know about this. But then at the same time, we're like, a little bit. Yeah. I really want people to know about this. But yeah, it's exactly. Okay, so that's something you noticed was they don't want the competitions actually easier than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't. I mean, I don't know if it's just that they don't want like 100,000 people on the ballot or what, right? But there's like the federal like longest ballot committee or something, right? And I mean, all those people are registered. They all got their signatures. They all put in their money, and they all got in, right? Like I think that should show people like, hey, you don't have to sit around at home and complain. You can run against it if you truly believe. Like obviously, I don't think that you should just put your name in it for the heck of it.
Just not do anything.
Yeah.
Like actually.
I think if you care, and put in some effort, like you'll get in, or you'll get, you'll get what you give, right? And if you put in the time, you'll see that back, right? You might not necessarily win, but you will get that, feedback. You'll get the support. You'll get the people that know you, and they'll tell other people about you, right? And if you keep on that, right, it's not going to happen overnight, right? Like you're not going to win an election, like if you hop in last day with 100 signatures, right? It might take a few years. It could take a decade. It could take 2 decades, right? But I think the point is that, it's not as difficult as people make it seem, so you shouldn't give up on it.
Okay, so next election cycle, people, if you're a young person or if you've ever thought, oh, I don't know about running for office, do it. It's easier than you think.
Yes. Just don't run against me.
Just don't run against Jonah. Yeah.
Pick a different...
Well, we'll see what his platform is. We got to keep him honest.
Do you mind me asking what you thought of this election and the outcome?
of the outcome. Ooh.
Don't burn any bridges.
It's very even, I think is what I'll say. It's, from the counselor side, before I talk on the mayoral side, you have probably 5 conservative counselors, right? I think you got 4 communities first counselors in there. And then you have 5, very liberal kind of, they're very obviously progressive candidates, right? They ran on that idea that they are the progressive candidate for their area. Like I know Ward 9, right? They defeated the incumbent because, they banded together, the progressives, and just kind of picked one guy to put in there. So yeah, you have 5 progressives, 5 conservatives.
Ward 9 was, who's that?
Who won? Was it Mike Atkinson? I think that's who won, but he defeated Wong. Oh no, Ward 9 was Harrison Clark.
Yeah.
You're good.
I got my sweater as well too.
It's Ward 7.
Ward 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
not Ward 9. Yeah, Ward 7 had Mike Atkinson win. He defeated Mr. Wong, the incumbent, and that was always a progressive ward. It's just they split votes in previous years, so they banded together to get their guy in. But and then on the other side, you have 4 moderates, right? Like I think you have 4 sort of, they could lean either way on policy, right? Like I think Harrison Clark, Andrew Yule, are those kind of guys that could lean either way in terms of policy. I wouldn't say that they're necessarily liberal or conservative. They very much have a ward first, right? Like put your constituents first mentality. And I appreciate that. Like I think out of all the outcomes for councillors, I think this is the best. You have a very even outcome. And then mayoral, which is the split vote, or is probably going to be the tie-breaking vote on probably 80% of policy that gets brought in, and I couldn't tell you what's gonna happen. It's Jeremy Farkas. I love the guy, right? I think he's a sweet, fun guy, right? Like I've said before, that I think he has the best sort of character out of all the candidates. But he is such a fence sitter now, right? Like he completely abandoned his 2021 campaign, and
that's something I noticed. Because maybe I'm misremembering, but he was more conservative leaning in the past, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember he ran, it was 2021 that he ran.
Yeah. And
then so he would have lost to Gondak.
Yeah, he lost
right?
to Gondak.
And then I noticed that his rhetoric changed quite a bit to more middle ground, more centrist, more diplomatic.
Yeah.
Because he ran they had I don't know if it was on CTV or CBC, but him and Nenshi had a radio show together where they would comment on.
They're good buddies.
I've
heard
they're friends.
Close in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say they're friends, right?
Yeah,
I don't necessarily see that as an issue, right? Like, if you want to play the politics game, you make friends with who's popular, right? I don't think that it matters that he's friends with Nenshi, right? I don't think that defines his policy, because I would do the same. I would easily start a podcast or something with Nenshi if I had the opportunity.
And I think that's it. Kind of goes back to healthy debate as well too. You want people on different sides of an issue to talk about it. So, but I could see how that could draw. Well, it's kind of interesting because that's what you want in, I think, healthy debate as well too. Is you want to draw the person opposite of you towards your point, and they want to draw you towards you, and you should be meeting in the middle. So
for sure, yeah. And it's not something
it's tough to see where he's gonna pick what he's gonna support or not.
Like all his policy was very fence sitting policy as well, right? Like he said he would repeal blanket rezoning and replace it. Well, what does that mean? What are you replacing it with? He never really expounded on that, right? He just kind of said, "I'll replace it."
Strategic ambiguity.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me because as someone who supported blanket rezoning, and saw the conservative side and the need to fix it, I didn't understand why he would even want to replace it with anything. Because at that point, why not just keep it and fix it? It feels like a needless sort of shove to get voters, right? And that is sort of like, clearly, if you pander to the older voters and you pander to the older generation, you will get their votes, right? Because Sharp and Farkas wiped the floor with Gondek, right? Combined, they put up almost 200,000 votes, right? Which is more than she got in the last election. She only ended up with 70,000, I think, this time. Like, she lost completely, right? Because she didn't pander to older voters, right, at all. And I think that that's the issue, partly with Farkas, is that he gave up on this idea of having good policy and just having good talk, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I think
So
that's
it's like
mostly.
It's like if he was a video game character.
Why were you in favor of blanket rezoning? Do you mind me asking that?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, we got a caller. We got a caller.
It's Farkas. He's after me.
Yeah. You're talking about. Okay, yeah. Callers, wait until we tell you to call in. Sorry, ask that question again.
I was just wondering what your. Oh, the blanket rezoning.
Yeah.
Why are you in favor of that?
It is. I mean, like, as a young person, I want to, right? Like, I think everyone wants to own when they're young, right? And what blanket rezoning does is it does that. It builds the homes, right? We're in a housing deficit, right? You're never going to get out of it unless it's simple supply demand economics, right? You have to raise the supply. The demand's high, right? And this is a necessity for young people, right? And blanket rezoning essentially it got rid of the issue of just regular rezoning, which is months to a year of just going to an individual plot, looking at it and say, okay, well, here's the rules for this. Oh, we need all this. Okay. And it takes like a year to like zone it, right? And say, here's the rules for it. Here's what you can do on this. Here's what you can't do in this plot. All blanket rezoning does is it creates a blanket rule for all zoning. And it sets just a simple set of rules. Like, here's what you need to have. You can't have this. Here's how like safe it has to be, whatever, right? And it just sets the basic rules, right? It gets out of the way of developers so that developers can come in, build whatever they want, that's set to the rules, that's set to the expectations of safety and whatnot. And you can build a lot faster, and you can have anyone come in, right? Any developer who wants to buy the land and then build on it and sell it, right? And you can build a lot more houses that way. And that's it, right? But the issue is that Gondek took that and built apartments, and she built just nonstop high-density housing on it, right? Which no developer wants to do that, right? No developer is hell-bent on building apartments and high-density housing to fit people in, right? Developers want to build medium-density housing because that will sell, right? And it's what the city needs, right? You need duplexes, row houses, even some single detached homes thrown in there, but that's not their priority, right? You need to fit people. And it also gets rid of the issue of society.
So what's the running argument against it right now?
Oh, well, against it, mostly by conservatives, is that one, again, Gondek tarnished its reputation with apartments. So the right side sort of thinks like, oh my God, apartments, bad. Everyone's going to get into these communist homes kind of deal, right? And the argument against it as well is that it's affecting landowners and it's affecting how good neighborhoods look. That's a huge one.
What do you think about it? You're not a politician. You don't have to answer.
I'm a little torn on it because, as I understand it right now, a lot of people don't like it, or a lot of the people I've talked to. But am I educated on the topic enough to have an official position? No. So I'm
Middle of the
Switzerland.
Yeah. Neutral on it.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I know why older people support it, right? It's because older people want their houses to have a lot of value, right? If you build more houses, your house value is going to go down. Like that's kind of the simple economics of it. That's why a lot of, older people in Toronto justified voting for Carney is that, yeah, I want my house to be high in cost. That way I can sell it for a lot and get a lot of money, right? They don't necessarily care about, my generation that, again, we just need houses, right? We're not asking you to die out and give us your house, right? We're just asking, you can build row houses, right? We'll live in a row house, right? It's still enough space to raise a family. It's still enough space to have a small yard, right? You can do all the basic necessities of what I call a family-friendly home, right? Which is, not what everybody wants. Not everyone wants it. Like some people do want apartments, apartments, right? You still do need to build apartments, but the majority of people are gonna want that family-friendly home, right? And the issue that people have with it is that it's in their backyard, right? That we're building up, but you're not building up. You're just building more, right? We're Calgary. We have a lot of land to work with, right? We are not suffering from building in, right? You are not ruining your neighborhood by putting a few row houses along the corner, right? It like that is the biggest complaint that I saw. Is like I don't want to look at it in my backyard, right? It's not in your backyard. It's across the street. Yeah, NIMBY. Yeah, not in my backyard. Yeah, which is something I don't support. And their alternative, the conservative alternative that Sharp had, Davison had is, well, we'll ban developers from developing anything. So already you got rid of capitalism. You got rid of anyone making a profit out of this, right? And you've just completely screwed over so many people that do just like, they're making a living off of it too, and they're giving you houses. But also you're going to raise taxes because that means the government's going to have to build out. And you have to build completely new services. You have to build new fire, new police, new pipes, everything. The whole works you have to build for a new community.
Yeah.
Whereas pipes here, right, just in Calgary, right, you could build probably 100 new houses. I'll use, because Brentwood's kind of close. Not Brentwood, Bridgeland. Bridgeland, yeah. Bridgeland's kind of close. You could probably put 100 new houses down there, kind of near where St. Anne's is, right? Put 100 new houses down there. Won't have any strain on the systems there. We have the pipes for it. We have everything for it, right? Police won't be at an issue at all. Fire won't be an issue at all. There will be no safety concerns, right? But there's a lot of people that say, "Oh no, but all the pipes will burst." No, look at it. The pipes are gonna explode because it's too many more houses. That's not true.
The water main, for example, the one that burst in, what was it, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, Montgomery. I lived there. I moved out of there.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 or 3 months before that happened.
Yeah. That wasn't an issue of people even being there. That was just an issue that the government, they handled it poorly. And then water main breaks will happen. Yeah. You can't catch every pipe, right? Like I know you go through and replace them sometimes, but you can't catch every break, right? You can't catch every little issue with it. And then the city handled it incompetently, and then it gave blanket rezone in an even worse rap after that.
Didn't Montreal had the same issue?
Yeah.
They fixed it like half the time.
Yeah, they fixed it. They had a pipe pre-built, right? They had it pre-built. I think it was 10 years before it even happened, right? And they just brought it out of the basement, put it in, right? Like it affected more people. It was bigger. It was a huge burst, right? But they fixed it in like I think it was only 10 days it took them to fix it, right? Whereas we had to ship one in from San Diego, right? And it was a whole ordeal, and we had to stop water service. People had to limit their water, which was so silly, right? You should never have to limit your services because the government screwed up, right?
That's a powerful saying.
Put that 5-minute showers and like boil your water, and it was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I was living out in Ottawa at the time when that happened, but I remember it hit me close because that's where I was, right in Montgomery. That was the Safeway that I would go to. That's where I would be getting my groceries.
Yeah.
So it happened right there was that 16th Ave? Yeah.
Kind of survivor, right?
Yeah. Okay, so outcome you're relatively happy with in terms of you think it will probably have a good conversation within the council.
You will have gridlock, and I think like gridlock is how you run a democracy. You have to have two sides disagreeing.
Okay. So you can find
you can find the
some
best
middle
compromise.
ground. Yeah. Okay, so there's equal voices represented.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had to go back at the start of your campaign, what would you do the same? What would you do different?
I would immediately set aside a budget. I didn't do that at the start of this. That's kind of why I failed a bit, is I didn't set aside the proper funds that I need to get everything done when I need to get it done. And near the end I was like scrounging around for change to buy like coffee and something to talk to people, and to round up buttons and round up some flyers. But it was a lot of like disorganization, right, with money and where I was getting out and going, right? I didn't host as many events as I wanted to, partly because of that and time, right? Because it is hard to, I guess that is what's hard about it, is it's hard to manage, that part properly, when you don't necessarily have just I could have just thrown $1,000 of my parents' money at it and been fine, but that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't just want to throw away their money. I wanted to make sure I was using them properly, right? So I didn't just take out $1,000 and give it to whoever, whenever. I wanted to spend as least possible, but I wasn't ready for that. I didn't realize that this is more expensive than I thought. So I wish I had organized it better.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think cash flow management, I think in any operation is critical.
Yeah, we're learning about that as we're filming this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we kind of went guns a-blazing at the beginning of this, and then we got to a point where like we can't justify spending this much anymore. So yeah, we got to dial this way back. But then it's like it's a jarring feeling, right? Because you're like, oh, but then how do I participate? But then that's like where the creativity comes in, and where you have to like actually think about like, okay, how do I do this and not blow my whole budget on this? Yeah. So what did you? Okay, so in that case, you'd set a budget. How would you go? How do you think you could run a better campaign on the budget that you had? What was your final budget?
Oh, I think it was $850.
Oh, nice.
Somewhere in that range, right? That's how much I totally spent.
I would say that, yeah, that's a super cost-effective campaign.
Yeah. It's cost-effective. It's just, it was kind of...
Now you got to keep that same cost, but then increase the results.
Yeah. I was spending it in the wrong places was the issue, right? I didn't spend it in the right places.
Where would you spend it? Like if you had the same budget, where would you?
If I had the same budget, I would put half of it into signs. Just immediately. I would put half of it away for signs because I do think signs are just the most effective thing, right? Buttons are kind of the cheapest option, so like I'll keep that. But signs and flyers, right? Just kind of like something that I can hand out and give to people immediately, right? And that they can show their support too, right? I could have put up so many lawn signs, just on my friends' lawns, right? And then people will ask about it, right? I think that's something I very much missed out on, that I didn't get any lawn signs because I ran out of money.
Would you? Because I remember, like, for the listener, I was listening to our last podcast on the drive in here today, and that's one of the things that you mentioned was you didn't want to take donations.
Yeah.
And so, would you take donations next time, or? Yeah, because I think that's where everyone feels like the I don't know the word to describe it, but the conflict, right?
Yeah.
I guess is the best word to describe it. It's like, oh, okay, I don't want to be influenced, but at the same time, oh, this is an expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
Stuff, but I also want to get my message across as clearly and as like direct as possible.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to the idea of donations, right? Like obviously, my future plans are going to involve them regardless, right? Because I'm joining something, but
we'll get to that later.
Yeah. But I think I would, right? But I wouldn't take it as a, hey, just give me $5, right? Like I wouldn't go around just like have a GoFundMe. I would have like a shop, right? And I would have buttons or something, a hoodie or a hat, something that I can give to you, right? Because I don't want to just take people's money. I've always mentioned like capitalism as like, I love it, but I also want to be the side of it that is, ethically right. And so I don't believe in just giving money to people or to corporations or anything like that, simply for something that you might not get out of it, right? So I want to follow my own morals and give you something out of your money, right? Because like that's your hard-earned money, right? A politician doesn't deserve that, right? You already give it away in taxes. I don't want you to give it to me now and potentially not get something out of it. I want to give you something. So I'll sell hats for sure. I'll sell, I might sell buns. I might, because buns are cheap. I don't know if I just want to give them away or sell them, but I will sell hats. I'll sell a hoodie, and I'll probably sell a T-shirt, right? Just something to give to people, right? Because then they have that forever, right?
Yeah.
They can have
branding out there as well.
Yeah. They can have my face in the drawer forever. They might not wear it, but at least they have it.
They have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You got anything?
My thought was Well, I think it's quite a noble take that you have there in terms of wanting to give something back for like each dollar earned for your what would you call it, votees, supporters.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool. What
Constituents.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, no, I think that's the really tough thing about politics is the finding a balance between keeping your message straight without letting it get influenced too much by your donors. Yeah.
Right. I've always preached this, right? Like my mantra is gentle politics, and I wanna change the idea that, you need to sell your soul to get into politics and you have to play the game, right? I don't like the game, right? I'm gonna change the rules of the game here, right? Like the game is quite frankly, excuse my language, but it is a shit game, right? I don't like swearing, but like I genuinely hate the way that politics is run. That you have to kind of sell out to get into office and whatnot, and you have to, put the money ahead of the people, right? Like I think that you put people in front of everything.
Do you have an example of seeing that on this campaign?
From myself or from other people?
Either one.
I mean, for myself, right? Like it was very tough to not put money first sometimes, right? Like it was very hard to like say, hey, I'm not taking your money, right? Like, cause I had tons of people say like, hey, I want to donate to you. Where can I donate? I was like, no, keep your money, right? That's very hard to turn down that when someone is being genuine and generous, right? Because there's not a lot of that. A lot of it's just companies now, right? For the bigger politicians. So when you have someone local that says, hey, I just want to donate to you. I want to support you, right? Like I love what you're doing, right? It's hard to turn that down because they are genuine about it. And I think I'd rather have their money than they give it to another politician who doesn't need it, right? Because people that will donate. They will donate to somebody, right? Which I kind of hate, but it's just how it works, right? Right. And I know Farkas and Davison and Sharp and even Gondek, right? Will put money ahead of people, right? Like they will always have the ideas of the corporations that come in and donate to them over their people, right? They owe them something. That'll always be it, right? You will always owe your donors. That's just how it works.
Okay, so it's a you see it pretty starkly then.
Yeah. Sharp. Yeah, Sharp's campaign was NMAX. They had a whole thing with NMAX, right? And it wasn't her directly that had it, but it was NMAX was contracting out someone who worked for the Sharp campaign, and that was a huge conflict of interest. I don't think that's necessarily money over people, but it was very much she tried to play it off as like, oh, this isn't a conflict of interest. Oh, there's no conflict of interest here. Jeff Davison was right. It was a conflict of interest, right? When a government-owned thing is, well, it's government-owned, but it makes a profit. When it is making a profit, right, it's going to favor the contract of the person who's going to be in government, right? So if Sharp had won, then that would have been a massive issue because now someone on her campaign team is being paid by a for-profit government company. So now he can kind of do whatever he wants, right? He can tell Sharp, hey, do this to benefit NMAX, right? Cut this funding, put it into NMAX, right? And then I'll make more money. Like it's a very shady operation.
So how would you propose to like avoid that type of stuff in the future? Is there regulations or what's the word?
Transparency.
Oversight that can be done?
Yeah. It's hard to, right? Like, because I don't think the government should impose anything on anyone, except the government is always going to be corrupt, and you can't do that. Farkas tried to, right? Like Farkas tried to be very open with his donors, right? And like say, hey, here's everyone who's donating to me. Here's my list. No other politician is doing this. But at the same time, it's like that's not going to stop you from like supporting them. You've been elected, right? You can now just support them and go against your word, right? We have no accountability, right? So I like the federal government stance that if you work for a company, if there's any conflict of interest, you're not allowed to have any say on the bill that might affect that company, right? And I like that a lot. I wish it applied to donors, right? If you're donated, you're not allowed a single solitary say, a vote, anything on a policy that might regard that company. But I can see the issues with that is like, oh, well, like it's a big policy, right? And that kind of affects all policy. But then maybe the politicians will stop dealing with these companies and these people, right? If they're not allowed to do anything with it, then they'll stop.
It's not in the United States right now.
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the politicians and then there's the lobbyists, but I think it was Nancy Pelosi, and she is like 200 mil or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hillary Clinton got a big payout too from pharmaceutical companies, right? And may or may not have influenced Mr. Bill Clinton on some laws regarding them. Won't get into that. I don't want
no foreign interference on our allies' election.
Please don't come after me, Mr. Clinton.
Yeah.
Please. Sorry.
Yeah, I just follow Nancy Pelosi's stock picks, man. Yeah, she's killing it. Yeah, she's making me a lot of money.
Yeah, that's how you should do it. If you know a politician, ask them where their stocks are.
Yeah.
And put all your money into it immediately.
Yeah. Okay, so that happened. What did you learn about forming a campaign team?
Do better with it is what I've learned. I love my small team, right? Like it's easier to talk to them and just run an idea by them. The issue is like I picked young people. I should have expected the same kind of attitude that young people give. There wasn't a lot of commitment. Is mainly the issue. But I get it. I'm not gonna blame them for it. Like I'm not gonna blame my campaign manager. She did everything she could. I'm not gonna blame Kyle at all. He did everything he could, right? But they have lives.
Shout out Kyle.
Yeah, shout out Kyle. Shout out again, but they have lives, right? And I told them like, hey, your life comes before this campaign, right? Like you're young, right? Like this is not your future. You have a long life left to live. If you need to go out on a date, if you need to just spend time with family, do not put my campaign first. Your life comes first. So I wish I had chosen people who didn't have a life. More or less. I wish I chose people who cared more about politics than this is your life now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know if I would have said that.
I'm not gonna listen. Go have your lives, but I need people that are kind of like me that genuinely care more about politics. Yeah. And I don't blame them at all. Like I would do the same thing if I at the time, was going through some stuff. I would have given up immediately, right? Like I would have. I never would have put my campaign above family members or above friends, right? Yeah. And so I get why they did that, right? Like it's a small campaign, right? Like what am I gonna do, right? Like am I gonna?
So how was it? Just the two of them that were your team?
It was those two. I had a graphic designer, who shall not be named because he's asked me not to name
Anonymous.
Him. Yeah, he
Anonymous.
He doesn't live in Canada, so and he doesn't. I guess he just doesn't want to be known for in politics. Fair, right?
He may or may not live in Canada or abroad. We don't know. He's anonymous.
He lives somewhere. He lives in space.
Yeah. Is he even alive or a person? We don't know.
He might just be an AI. But I had him. I had a few others. Just small guy kind of people that helped me with social media stuff. And then obviously some outside help. Or not help, but advice from other people that had ran campaigns before, right? That was more or less my team. That was more or less who I went to when I needed help.
Nice. Okay, cool. So what comes next for you? So yeah, that's a tough loss. And actually, before you tell me that, what were your results? Because I was looking for you, and
I ran out of money.
I couldn't find where your results were.
I ran out of money, and I had to drop off the ballot, sadly. So I wasn't on the ballot at the end of the day because I wanted my $500 back. I was broke, more or less, right? There's the money issue, again. And just
so if you put your money, so you put your $500 up to get on the ballot, and then if you say I drop out, they give you your $500 back?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So even more of a reason, if you are listening to this, for you to get out there and vote. Because you can go, you can dip your toes in, put your $500 up, and I don't really want to do this. I don't really like this.
Yeah.
But now and you can say that you've run for mayor.
Yeah.
And then you can get your $500.
Yeah.
It's basically free. It's free to run for mayor.
It is. Go do it. Like, seriously, go do it. Put 100 people on the ballot and then have them all pull out before October. Screw with the system more.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun. And, practice democracy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I withdrew my name. That didn't stop people from voting for me though. I wish we had write-ins. The states has write-ins and they count write-ins as votes.
We don't count write-ins.
Yeah, no, don't know why. I think that's a load of crap. I think that's anti-democratic. I think that's un-Canadian.
Good catch. Yeah.
I think that we should have write-ins. I don't even think you should put money in to run. I think you should get signatures. That's it. Put your name in, right? Oh yeah, have write-ins. And I love write-ins because I probably had close to 200-300 people write my name in, right? Which my name was on it. They chose to do that, right? Like I got, email after email, DM after DM.
Question for you. And is municipal elections, are the election rules set by the city or by the province? Or those federal? Or is
it's both,
okay.
Right? So the province has basically kind of like autonomy over some of the rules, right? Like I believe they run elections, Calgary. Right? Because you'll notice all the elections kind of happen at the same time, right? Edmonton.
I was noticing it because where I live out in Rocky View County.
Yeah.
So I voted Rocky View County, but those elections were happening at the exact same time as the Calgary elections. And I think Edmonton was at the same time.
Yeah, Edmonton went, Airdrie went.
There was a lot. They were all kind of at the same time.
Yeah, most of them. I think there was only a few that didn't. Yeah, I think Fort McMurray had theirs too. I guess it's just to kind of make it easier.
Yeah.
And also I don't you're not going to get a municipal election out of the blue either. I don't think there's really a way to have a minority government and they're heroic,
city vote of confidence.
Yeah, but I don't think you have votes of confidence at the municipal level, sadly. So there's not a lot of mix up with that unless the mayor dies. Farkas, please don't die.
Yeah, don't die.
Please.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like you a little bit, so.
You got fans in the audience.
You got fans, man. Yeah, but I guess that's why. And
okay.
I lost track.
Yeah. What did I ask?
Oh yeah, the results, right?
Oh yeah, results. Okay. So do you know how many people voted for you?
Yeah, close to 300, right? Close to 300, right? I was so proud about that.
Not bad
people,
at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
They wrote in my name, right? And I was so proud of that, right? It might not be counted. They might have just thrown the ballot away, but god dang it, I'm so thankful to those people.
Hell yeah.
That spoiled their ballot and I'm I also got lots of people who said yeah, I just spoiled my ballot. Or said hey, I was gonna vote for you, but it's an hour long wait. So you had my vote, but I'm leaving. So tons of people, also said that, but people that actually wrote my name in, close to 300, right?
Yeah, official write-ins.
I'm trusting their word here. I don't see why anyone would need to lie about that, but I'm grateful to those people that put my name in anyways, and it wasn't enough to make a difference at the end of the day. Farkas still would have won if Sharp had gotten all those votes, but I'm still happy, right? It was such a close race, and in reality, had everyone gotten out and voted and had my name been on it, I think I probably would have made a difference. Mm-hmm. I think the amount of people that voted for me would have been larger than the margin of difference between Farkas and Sharp.
That's cool.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Eric, how you doing back there?
I'm doing quite well. I'm very cold, but this is a fascinating conversation.
Okay, you ask the next question.
So Jonah, where do you see yourself going from here?
That's a good question. I'm in between jobs right now, kind of deal. I've been offered, positions on where I should go, and
If you're not ready to announce, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, I think I am, but it's a very like hard decision for me, right? Because right now I see like kind of three paths for me. One, the Libertarian part, or sorry, someone from the Libertarian Party, Michael Harris, recommended that I should join them and run on the federal level, right? He kind of asked me, he said, "Hey, you don't have to make a decision right now," but I came to him and said, "If there's an election, I will run as Libertarian. I will put in all my effort as much as possible. I will put my name in because the Libertarian Party would help out with funds a little bit, right? Like he asked my lawyer to look it over.
Yeah, you get some
support,
some branding.
Yeah. Right. And I basically like I took a month to think that over. I was like, you know what? If there's an election on whenever, I will run. I will be right there. I will run in my place, and I will win. Or I probably wouldn't win, but I said I will try my best to win. I will put all my time in.
Yeah,
I will take it. Yeah, I will put in so much effort. You know, that was all he kind of like asked for me. He didn't want a paper, ballot kind of guy. He wanted like a real candidate.
Yeah.
So that was sort of where I was gonna go, but we didn't vote non-confidence in Mark Carney. Not surprised by it, but it would have been nice. So if there is an election before the next municipal election, I will probably run. I don't know if that will be as a Libertarian or as an independent. Hopefully a Libertarian. I hope that offer still stands. Whenever the non-confidence is called, if it is called, or if they dissolve Parliament earlier, I will run as a member of Parliament, and I will win.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. The other two.
So that's path one.
Yeah. The second one is try again in 4 years, right? Get out to the community, which I'm going to do regardless. But if I go as an independent for mayor again, I will get out to the entire community through these next 4 years. I will not just stay within my ward.
Knock on
doors still.
Yeah. So how many houses are there? How many households are there in
Calgary? I believe there's over 500,000. How is it?
500,000 doors you got to know.
Yeah, I got to get onto it.
Until then, you got 4 years to do it.
Yeah, I got 4 years. I want to meet everyone in Calgary, right? Like, that's my goal, is I want to meet every single individual here, right? Like, that's...
I don't know if that's mathematically possible, but I will say... I
can try.
Admire your determination.
Yeah. I think if you run, you should try and get to know every Calgarian that you're representing. Yeah. And I want to do that, right? If I run as an independent. Last option, one that I'm still thinking about, is a municipal party. And I've asked around about this. I've asked some people about this. I've asked 2 people if they would be my signing agent for the party. They both said yes. So with that, I would be starting the Calgary First Party. That so far for municipal politics is my most popular option. I have a lot of people behind it. I already have kind of the party looks for it. I have the party set up, and it'll be 14 councillor candidates. And it'll be, I'm not sure if I will run for mayor or if I will run for Ward 1. Yeah. That will be
kind of gearing that up.
Yeah, it's
doing kind of like the ground.
Yeah. The foundations of the
years.
party. Yeah.
That's for the next civic election.
Yeah.
Okay.
The party will be created. It will exist.
Already on its way.
Yeah, it's just we don't know if we will run candidates in the next election or if we will simply be an activist.
Is that you leading that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I know that the person who offered me the Libertarian Party position also wants to work on a municipal party, but too late. I already got there. Sorry. I called dibs first. Don't run against me, please. But it's not a Libertarian Party, but it is just a Calgary First Party. It's for young people. It's for all walks of life, but it is.
You're opening it up, because I remember from our last one, there was a guy who's 28, and he asked you if he could be a part of your movement.
Yeah.
And you said, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it sounds good. You're opening it up to a little bit of us older folks.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Unc.
Yeah. It will be majority under the age of 25, but I want older people in this party too. I want some people with experience in this party, because that will, I think that's why Sharp got so far, is because the people with experience drove her. And so I think that the people with experience will drive this party and will help drive it to getting one young person. That's just my goal, right? I don't care if I win mayor or not. I just want one person under the age of 25, hopefully under the age of 20 in reality, to be elected to City Hall because I want them to say, hey, young people have a voice. The future will be heard, and it'll be heard now because it's coming.
That's powerful. So okay, so that's the goal of that party
Yeah.
is to get a young person elected.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, it'll have a full policy. I also want to do
Is
it
there
right.
any pillars in there, or that's still being worked out?
The 3 pillars, or straightforward, I've called them, or the 3-part plan, is one,
For world domination.
lower taxes
Yeah.
is the first one, right? We will have not just a tax freeze, we will lower taxes. Now, obviously, you have to have a tax freeze first. You can't just do it in the first few days of being elected. But by year 3, if the party is elected, there will be a tax cut by, we're still thinking if we're going to do it 15% or more. Probably more. I would like it to be more. I would like to cut your taxes by 50% actually for
5-0 or 1-5?
5-0.
5-0.
That's the goal. It's ambitious, but that is I want a 50% property tax
Okay, Eric, what do you think about that?
50% property tax?
Reduction.
decrease. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
not increase.
So I was like, wait, what? I am for that.
All right. Okay.
That's what I want. I want to cut it in half.
All right. Okay. Next pillar.
Next pillar, gentle politics. This is most important for me. Is I've already kind of screwed up here, but no, like very very mature kind of political base. Don't swear. Don't make a fool of
Keep it
yourself.
above the belt.
Be polite, right? Like I'll always say that is, gentlemanly, right? If you're gonna be something in life, be gentle, be calm, be patient, right? I want people to, in this party, not to attack. I want them to simply be, human beings.
Take the high road.
Yeah, right. You're not better or less than anyone, right? Just because you're a politician, right? And you're trying to become a politician, you're not above anyone. You are not above a communist. You are not above a socialist. You are not above a conservative. You are not above a PPC voter. You are just a person. And just
Citizen
running.
taking part in.
Yeah, that's all you will be, right? You will not be this higher than God being, right? You are simply trying to make a change and help other people, right?
Power goes to politicians.
Yeah, all the time, all the
Like
time.
locally.
Locally? Yeah, Gondek. Not to call out Gondek. I think Gondek is polite, but I think she was very power hungry and put herself first over people all the time. And I mean, whether you want to go to the climate emergency or just how she talked about herself during the campaign of this was strong leadership. I did such a good job, right? She didn't take any accountability for the things she screwed up in, right? Like that's something that I don't like, and that's part of gentle politics is that accountability piece.
What would some of her big mistakes be?
Well, the climate policy being one of them, but also, yeah, the water main break, how she handled that. What was the other one? So she did something for veterans. Oh, what was it? Oh my God, she did something for veterans with Indigenous people, I think. But she basically kind of degraded veterans that weren't. I don't want to quote on this because I can't remember it exactly. She did something. Oh, I remember it.
Okay.
Kind of last Remembrance Day, she opened up a speech by basically calling every single person there, and every veteran included, a colonizer, a settler, right? And basically just called them like was not your land, right? Like none of this belongs to you. None of you deserve this. She had that kind of opening to a speech, and I thought that was she never apologized for it, right? I think when you do that, you don't apologize for it. Yeah, and you don't mention in this campaign that you screwed up. I don't appreciate that. And obviously she went back on a lot of her beliefs. Not her beliefs, but a lot of her promises of again, she had the 3 impossible promises. Lower taxes, more spending, and a balanced budget. Didn't do any of that. All out the window. Didn't apologize for screwing up on any of that. But she had no accountability, and I didn't appreciate that. And I don't want my party to be like her.
Fair enough. Wait. That was. Sorry.
Go on, Nick. What?
Sorry. I'll say what I think later.
You go first.
I was just gonna ask you what your. You said there. I think we're missing pillar 3 and 4.
Yeah, pillar 3. This is the simplest one. Freedom. I don't believe the government should be involved with people's lives. I want the government to stay out, right? Whether that be on, right, like obviously I've said I'll never campaign on abortion policy because that is just political suicide. Even if you're conservative, never talk about it because it's really just not worth it. Yeah, there's no point in trying to argue with those kind of things, but also you're not going to advocate for the government getting involved with something like that, right? Like that's my policy is the government should not have a say in your life. The government should be how it was intended under people like John Locke. It should be a night watchman. They're there to sort of pick you up when you fall off your bike, but then give you the push. And they're not holding your hand through it, right? They're not getting up in your business and saying, oh, what kind of bike is this? Oh, this is a cool bike. This bike, right?
This bike doesn't follow regulations.
Yes, like,
here's a fine. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Oh, this bike's pink. Why is it pink? It can only be red, you know? I don't want the government to be like that, right? I want the government to be just kind of there to pick you up when you need it and then send you right back on your way. If you fall again, well, you didn't learn. You can try again, but if you keep falling.
Viewers, we said to wait and to call in until we tell you. Okay, the viewers just really want to talk to us. They know this is a spicy one.
It's got to be someone.
Yeah,
maybe Gondek's mad at me.
Yeah.
Now she wants to talk.
We tried to go high. We tried to go high. Okay, so freedom. Hell yeah, I'm all for that. And the fourth one.
Oh, it was just the 3 pillars. I can add a fourth. Y'all want a fourth?
You don't. If you don't have to. Yeah.
Capitalism, basically, right? That's the fourth pillar is free markets, right? I that can kind of tie into freedom, but I want a free market. I want you to take the risk, right? If you want to, start a farm, start a business, whatever, you are accepting that risk, right? And when you're rewarded, you will be rewarded. The government will not come in, take some of your money, give it to somebody else who didn't earn it. You will get to keep all your money. You get to keep your rewards, right? The government doesn't get any say over that, right? Because you took a risk, right? As a capitalist, right? You took a risk, you put in the work, you put in the effort. You should get exactly what you give, right? You deserve to reap the rewards, and do whatever you want with it. Government doesn't have a say in that. But I want a very pro-capitalist market, right? Not necessarily laissez-faire, but and as close to that as you can be without screwing over markets.
Powerful. Eric, thoughts?
Powerful indeed.
Well, I want to ask you probably 2 more hours of questions, but I think we will leave it there for now.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to finish it off. How you just did right there. Jonah, I want to say thanks for coming on again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Jonah, for making it out again.
And yeah, we hope to. I'm excited to have you on again and tell us about your adventures and I guess educate us on what you're learning as well too.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been finding these super informative and yeah, like I said, I think what you're doing is important and
yeah.
Best of luck in these next 3 paths as you make your choice here.
Thank you. I appreciate being on.
Godspeed. Exactly. All right, listener. We'll see you in the next one. Ooh. There we go. Beauty.
Does anyone else periodically go through phases of
Dap-a-doo, 2 white guys in a wheelchair.